Do you guys have an issue with the mess on their desk? This is the signs of a genius. Oh, and this is Jess. There she is. I remember we made a video one time where I showed my desk and I was like, hey, I have to clean this up, and so we need to organize it. And everyone's like, you totally faked that mess on your desk for the sake of the video. And I think Cusco was there at the time. He's like, no, that was real.
Cusco should know.
That's real. He's definitely messy.
Yeah.
So what's up, guys? Reach Out Reptiles. Welcome back. My name's Garrett Hartle, and we have a guest here today. This is Blake Stewart, the man with the plan, the guy who actually did our rebrand, and you were bringing some deliverables down today.
Sure.
Should we share with them?
Yeah, we can share if you like.
Yeah.
So deliverables.
Deliverables. Yeah. So we actually, I mean, you guys know, if you watch the channel for any length of time, you've seen him before. Blake's the guy that you have the big addition on the side of your house with a cool playground for snakes and stuff like that. I love it. I love the mentality, all that kind of stuff. So he does a lot of cool stuff with the snakes. You're working on breeding some super dwarf reticks is probably mostly what you have, right?
Yeah.
Although you've had a few different species and stuff like that. But yeah, he does a lot of branding stuff. What is it? I kept asking Aaron, like, what is your elevator pitch?
Our elevator pitch?
Yeah.
Well, our quick strap line.
That's what I'm asking for, yeah.
Good. So brands own markets, we help create them.
There you go.
So because if your brand is clear and you have a strategy, then you can own your market, you can become an industry leader.
Very cool. So I love getting together with Blake. You and I don't see eye to eye on a lot of things. We're just talking about how we like different snakes. We like different things. We've talked about in traveling where I'm like, yeah, I want to stay in the jungle and hike up a volcano with no shoes. And you're like, I want the all-inclusive resort, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. But what's great is it's always fun to get together with you and kind of check. You know, I don't know. I know that I am challenged when I talk to you. Hopefully, you get the same kind of thing out of it. So, but we thought we would provide that for you guys today.
I think we also agree on a lot more than we disagree with. So,
well, the core stuff too, right? But
Sure.
That's the thing. So this is what I love about the reptile industry, though. Honestly, like all the people watching and stuff, you can't say they're all this kind of person or all that kind of person. That was kind of one
That's
of the
what we
challenges.
discovered kind of going through that process.
Yeah, they're like, well, who is your customer? I'm like it could be friggin' anybody.
Anybody.
I was like, the one thing is like people generally with us are willing to spend a little bit more money for their animal because they realize the history and the background and the lineage and the work that's gone into it, and they know they're going to get what they paid for.
Yeah,
with us.
that's probably the core value. Everything else, everything we came up with, we had an example of where it didn't apply.
Could be anyone. I can't even imagine it. But yeah. So you were bringing up stuff that we did the rebrand with you. How long was that? 2 years ago now?
it's been about that, yeah.
Yeah, probably 2 years. But we wanted to get it a little bit more in depth with the Reach Out Reptile stuff. So I don't know. You want to give them the short version of what we did?
As far as just the recent workshop?
Yeah, just what
Or
we
the whole
worked.
thing?
No, just the recent workshop that we've done and stuff like that. You guys can go back and watch the rebrand videos from a couple years with Blake if you want that whole side of it.
Yeah, so like Garrett said, a couple years ago we worked on the rebranding, the visual side of Reach Out Reptiles. So redoing the logo, working on the colors, the fonts, putting the brand guide together, all of that. And just recently we worked on the verbal side of the brand. So developing the strategy as far as how the brand talks, what it communicates, how it talks to people, and what it says about the company. So including things like the development of strapline, value proposition, mission statement, and I don't know. Do you want to share some of the the outcomes of it?
Let me pull it up here. Let's see. So yeah, we'll show you guys this. This is some stuff that you guys will be able to see here coming up in the future. And then we'll get to some of your guys' questions, whether you have questions for me, questions for Blake. I don't know if you guys want to talk about business stuff. You can talk about snake stuff. You can talk about, whatever you want. And
Chris said Blake is hard to hear.
Speak up.
Sorry, I'll try to speak up, guys.
It could be all the kids running around on their heels upstairs, too.
The elephants.
Is it this one up here in the corner? Or this
Bottom
one?
left.
Bottom left?
Yep,
right here?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So...
So the verbal identity, the strategic part of it is really about communicating your meaningful difference. You know, what makes you different, how you stand out, and why people should work with you over anyone else. So, Can you make it so they can see the screen?
Yeah, sure. Well, I mean, we can do this.
We can.
Okay,
We can do
or,
it this
or
way.
just turn the camera.
We're
on.
live,
Okay,
yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. You want to take us through a little bit of this, and then we'll get into it. Just, I love this stuff. Hopefully, you guys kind of think about your own businesses, and from a perspective more of like, I want to make what kind of snake, and where do I want to go in the world versus, you know, like what your purpose is. You know what I'm saying? So what are all these things, Blake?
Yeah, sure. So as far as this, the verbal messaging, the strapline, Garrett already had the bridge between worlds, and there was a lot of meaning behind that. But it was how do we communicate that meaning, to the customer and to other people. So we kind of added to that, inspiring people to reconnect with the wonder of our world. The positioning statement, Reach Out Reptiles is the only dwarf and super dwarf articulated python breeder that brings authentic, ambitious, and adventurous keepers together through a responsible learning community to better the lives of the animals and the people who love them. The mission statement is our mission is to inspire people to reconnect with the wonder of our world. And the vision statement, we're not trying to be the world's best, but we're trying to make the best world. Let's help animals and people live wonderful lives and bring their worlds together. So then now you can see on these next few slides some of how that comes together and how it can be used. So this could be
This is some of the stuff you guys can expect to see us as we begin to implement and stuff like that. And it's always about just us communicating effectively what it is that we're trying to do.
Exactly.
You know
exactly.
what I mean?
Yep.
So-
Yeah. Just because you guys know what it is you do, but how do you communicate that to everybody else? How do you make it clear to them?
Right. So you guys, obviously, if you're doing dwarf and super dwarf, you want a lot of support from your breeder. You want to know that you're getting the best bloodlines. And so, how do you pick that stuff? This is some of the stuff that helps just us communicate our position on these things. So
Sure. So this is just an example of what you could do like with a website. But again, using that strap line, using that value proposition, highlighting those along the lines of social media.
here you go, YouTube guys. We'll probably get a new little banner coming across there. We got some Instagram mock-ups. I love these things.
And then this is some other kind of verbiage we put together. I mean, you could use this for online ads like this. You could also use it for posters, but crossing out misunderstood, misrepresented, mysterious, marvelous. That's what these animals are, right?
Yeah, I love it. This is all based on them going through and finding out kind of like what stuff do we really care about, and how do they bring it through.
So these are just also some examples for stickers, flyers, posters. And then some ideas for.
I love that.
again,
Isn't that one great?
some of the larger posters or signs, and again, just helping highlight some of that messaging. So nature's reaching out, or bridge between worlds, or it's a big world out there. Reconnect with your wild side.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
This is also something you can use at shows, of course. Table covers.
This one I think is great. This was probably one of my it was your employee Aaron came up with this, but it was like, are we trying to be the world's best? Is this the world's best snake? Is this the world's best whatever? It's like, forget about that. How do we make our best world? You know what I'm saying? And I don't know, I love it like this. We're all in this together. Reach Out Reptiles, we believe lifting up the little guy, helping each other, learning along the way. Let's help animals and people live wonderful lives and bring their worlds together. So yeah, no, I mean, some of this stuff is just, I love the messaging because it's what I'm trying so hard to convey. Done simply and beautifully, right?
I expect to see this billboard next time I'm driving up to Pittsburgh, Garrett.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Here we go. There it is. So yeah, anyway, that's what we were working on. Figured we would share that with you. Jess, do we have any questions for
We
from,
do.
from the crowd?
Bob Evans was just in the comments asking, is that free book deal still available?
Absolutely. Shoot me an email with your address. I'll be happy to send one to you.
What's your email?
My email is blake@sdidentity.com.
We did so you sponsored our channel for a while and we did little commercials and we were like, yeah, and if you email Blake, he's got this book, I'll tell you, he'll give it for free. My wife's filming, she's like, did you clear that? Are you allowed to be giving away free books? But it is worth it. It's a nice brand guide. It talks a lot about logo stuff, And
I'm gonna super chat.
great free information
Who's
for
gonna
you
dance?
guys if you're just trying to figure it out. You want to take this one?
No, you got it.
Hold on, it's okay. I actually have some here.
Comes prepared.
Yep. This is actually Blake's daughter. We got one here. All right, let's see. Make sure the bugs. We're gonna get demonetized.
I don't know. They're looking for those songs.
Gotta love that. Right
Oh,
on.
she hasn't done it yet.
That's perfect.
But
Very cool. All right, so what's our super chat?
That was Natalia Prado.
Hi, Natalia.
How do you think about colors and decide on what goes with the concept?
Oh my
That's
gosh,
a good
so,
question.
so much, yeah.
sure, yeah. So it's all based off the strategy. So the first step in the process is sitting down, figuring out what your goals are, what your objectives are, who your audience is, how you're going to appeal to them, and then those things are going to come from that strategy, be developed from it.
Because
Different-
there's a whole like psychology behind what different colors do.
Exactly. Different
You know,
colors have
emotionally.
different psychological associations,
Right.
and they're going to appeal to people in different ways and so forth. So it depends what kind of industry you're in, what kind of company you have, what you're trying to portray and kind of put out there. So color plays a lot in that. That strategy workshop also develops, the fonts, the styles that we put together. So it gives us a direction for why everything needs to be put together the way that we put it together. So
Yeah.
it's not about just putting something together and then saying, hey, do you like this or do you like that? It's what's more important is that it works, that it achieves the goals and objectives that you have. And that's the whole reason that it needs to be created strategically. Because without strategy, as I've said before, logo design is really just a beauty contest, and it becomes all subjective. It's not objective. And
Some people like it, some people won't, based on what they
and
their personal preference.
Exactly. And it doesn't matter if you like blue or green or red or yellow. What matters is that you're using the right colors to attract the right audience to achieve the goals that you're after.
Yeah. I have a quick one. Let me ask my question to Blake because we went to.
You can't skip the line.
All right, I'll ask you later. No, I better do it now or I'll forget. All right, here.
You got
Just
5 seconds.
Okay, just because we just got back from the show down in Texas,
Yeah.
and you saw a lot of branding within the reptile industry at
Sure.
that show. What would you say off the cuff is, we've got a ton of branding here. People don't know we still do this, but you can actually send your sticker in and we'll throw it up on our cabinet here. So we have a whole bunch, so there's like all kinds of logos from all sort of people. Here's one from you, Blake. You actually did that one right there.
Mm-hmm.
But within that kind of branding in the reptile industry, what's the worst thing? What's like the one thing that stands out to you as a generalization that the reptile industry is horrible at when it comes to logos?
Oh wow! I mean,
I thought you were going to ask him what's the best ones he
So-
saw. No,
No.
call out the worst
No,
one.
don't call anybody out. I'm just saying, like,
But who was it really?
they we're not that good in our industry with logos.
so the brands are all over the place, honestly. But the biggest thing is I see so much clip art being used and so many of these illustrative, just illustrations of snakes, where it's not a logo, it's a drawing,
Big detailed
And-
illustrations.
Right.
Yeah, I mean there are
Somewhat
three
like
things.
our old logo.
Yeah, there are three things that a logo really needs to be effective. First, it needs to be simple. It needs to be free of unnecessary detail. It shouldn't have, too much detail because too much detail is just an illustration. And it needs to be something that is easy for people to build a quick and easy brand recognition with. Too much detail hurts that. The more simple it is, the more that helps.
And he's less interested in like the hidden meanings, like SD for super dwarf, obviously. Stuff like that. Don't worry about that stuff as much.
So second, it needs to be memorable. So it needs to be, easy to recall. It needs to not look like everyone else. So those are, those first two things are two things that I see really that a lot of people in the rest
So
of
people
industry
either
are
have
doing them.
a good piece of artwork, but it's like clip art and it's very generic,
They either have something
or
that's
they have something super custom, but it's like a beautiful drawing and an illustration,
exactly much too detailed
and
for
not
a logo,
usable as a logo.
and hurting the versatility. It's harder to embroider. It's harder to.
So you ask yourself, like,
screw
could
with
you
things
put your
like that.
logo on a pen or something like that? And it's
Exactly.
that was the
yeah,
problem
yeah.
we ran into with our old logo. We just it was great if it was this big on your T-shirt. Any
Sure.
other application, it was awful.
Sure, it had a lot of detail in it. I mean, it was an illustration, and you're right. I mean, showing large, it would work well showing it large. But imagine trying to print that small on a pen, like you said. You wouldn't be able to read it. You'd
can't
lose
tell.
all that detail.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
It wasn't iconic
Cool.
in that sense. So simplicity. The second, memorability. Shouldn't look like a piece of clip art or something people have seen 1,000 other times. And then the third one, appropriate. It needs to have the right feeling for the industry and the audience that you're trying to attract.
Cool.
So
Okay. Very good.
Ryan Hood asked, what are some of the ways that you use to add personality to new logos?
Oh, that's a good one. Do you guys want to see what kind of Superdorf Blake is getting?
Yeah, somebody
Or
asked
just
that.
got?
Do you want me to go grab that one?
Yeah. Do you know where he is?
Spencer Vance, on that one you just put
He's
away?
on he's on the opposite side. Yeah, I'll show you guys because Blake just picked up a Superdorf today. But go ahead.
So how do you add personality to a logo? I think is the question.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends what kind of personality needs to be added to the logo. So, again, the logo shouldn't be based off of the client per se. It needs to be based off of the goals that business has. So it's I mean, that whole strategy session, it's what kind of personality is going to make sense. When you say personality, I assume you're probably talking about styles, what kind of aesthetics, look, and so forth. And yeah, that's all really determined through the workshops that we first start with.
Right on. Very cool. What do you got here?
So this is an Anery Motley Golden Child.
That's a pretty sick snake. And you just wanted to get the blackest of the black.
Exactly. Yep.
So we got Motley Golden Child. I was showing you earlier, like the crazy thing with adding Anery into this. You guys can see the rainbows that they're famous for. Hey, Summer. But they not only do the Anerys like not have a lot of red pigment. I don't know if pigment's even the right thing to say, but they don't refract. Sorry, buddy. They don't refract any light at all. So they actually have like blue and green rainbows. Even isn't that neat? So look at that pretty girl. Hi, sweetie. Did I bonk you on the face? I'm sorry. Oh, Summer wants to know what Superdorf. That one's complicated. Let me see. That one's 37.5% Jampea, 6.25% Slayer, and 12.5% Kalatoa. So what are you going to do? What are you going to breed to her? She's het albino too, just cuz.
So I might breed that purple snow male I have to her.
Oh,
I think
all
that
right.
would, yeah.
Yeah, that would be pretty sick. You get a whole clutch of Anerys. And you get
Mhm.
all Motley. Well, you get normals, Motleys, GCs, and Motley GCs. And then you would get, all of them would be Anerys. And of those, half of them would also be albino or snow. So,
Or another option would be the 100% Super Dwarf that I got from you.
what do you guys think in the comment? First of all, thank you guys for joining us. If you're just coming in here, hit a like. This is Blake Stewart. He did our logo rebrand stuff. He's really helping us with
got
messaging.
47 people watching and 10 likes.
Sad.
Isn't that
Well, the rest of
disappointing?
you at least dislike the video so that we know you're alive. But no, go, yeah. So do us a favor. Shoot in the comments if you were gonna breed an Anery Motley Golden Child, het albino, and now Anery and albino make snow together. Would you go take this girl to like a pure Super Dwarf? What would be really cool is the pure Super Dwarf you have for me. There's at least a chance that it's actually carrying the Anery gene.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be really sick. So would you run Motley GC up really hard to the Super Dwarf and get some high percentage stuff, or would you run it to? You said you have a visual snow male,
Visual purple snow tiger.
And Taylor said
purple
snowman.
snow tiger. So you would get Motley GC tigers with albinos, Anerys, all that kind of stuff. Mixed in snow Motley Goldens and all
Still
that.
have another comment of the guest volume tone is so low, hard to follow.
It's soothing.
Got a shout.
Garrett just speaks so loud.
Here, we'll put the camera
Garrett is used to
more
shouting.
on your side. That is true. All right. Okay. So yeah, what do we have? What's our next question for Blake in here?
Ben
Or
Taylor
question period?
said, how do you come up with a good tagline? Example, ROR's Bridge Between Worlds.
Is that Ben Taylor from Hysteria Exotics?
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, awesome. Well, hey Ben, how's it going? I mean, the development of a tagline is and as
that
well
from
as
Patreon?
all the messaging, it's
right?
Yes.
it's all put together through that workshop. So it's not there's not a quick answer to that. It's just something that we would need to work on with you. We have a number of exercises that we run our clients through in order to build all that verbal messaging.
Cool.
That's very cool.
Let's see. Spencer Vance asked how to create brand name, develop brand as new potential snake breeder.
So naming a company, yeah, I mean, if you don't have a name, then that obviously needs to come before the logo. We do also assist with name development. There's more that goes into that than what people think, because the thing is with names, you need it to be something that's unique and that makes sense. But also, there's a lot of other things you need to look into as far as, you know, checking out your state registry, making sure that you're not going to run into issues with other businesses that might have that name. Also, making sure that a website URL is available, so that somebody doesn't own a URL that you're looking for, or you have something else available as a backup.
There's so many people that run into having like the same name as someone else. They don't
Exactly.
even think about it. There were literally in Arlington, there were 3 AA exotics, and none of them were my buddy Andrew.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's it. Just snake breeder.
Yep. Yeah.
So you know, definitely stuff to consider there.
Yeah, and then the last thing I was going to point out, also making sure that your social media handles are available. So if you use Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, making sure that those aren't also taken. So that's the biggest challenge in coming up with a name. And of course, just like Garrett said, you want to make sure that you don't have something that is overused in the industry, like someone's last name / reptiles, if it's not a unique last name, or initials reptiles, because that's what so many people do.
I just brought this out this is Justin's snake, but this is a Motley Golden Child, or I'm sorry, a Superdorf Motley, like a Kalatoa Motley at 50%. So this would be one example of some of the cool stuff you can make. Actually, now that I said that, I think it's from a different clutch. This is Dwarf and Superdorf. Hold on, I have a Superdorf. Oh no, I was right. That's Superdorf Motley.
Let me see. I think the rest of them are about your snake room.
Oh sure. Yeah. What do you guys want to know about that?
Ryan, what?
Check this out. This is my anery holdback versus your anery holdback.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
What do you guys think? Just a crazy anery super tiger.
Very
The
muted
one with
pattern.
the arrows.
Yeah, almost nothing left.
Yeah.
Just that purpley gray.
Super chat.
Woohoo! Natalia. Super chat. Hold on, I got one for you. We came prepared with the super chats, I think. Here it is. That one's quick. You gotta play it again. Here's Rob's. Watch out.
It's his Spotify dance though.
Spotify? Can I just do it over and over? How's that? Oh, if you guys want to have your super chat danced on here, yeah, you do have one.
I can't do it.
If you guys want to have your super chat dances on here, shoot me a text. It's 412-925-1933. Do your live YouTube appropriate super chat dance and we'll feature it.
Please live appropriate, because we don't ever screen them.
So what was the question about the room?
Okay, the room. One of them was Ryan Hood. How did you go about designing the room?
Oh geez, well I had a 13 by 13 foot slab that went out the back door of the house, and so I ended up building a room that inside the dimensions are 12 by 12 foot, and then I just thought what would be a bunch of cool stuff to put in there for the kind of semi-arboreal super dwarf retics to be able to climb on and exercise and add enrichment to their lives. So
it's literally the size of like a small bedroom but tall.
Did you?
oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think it's like,
Did you read Natalia's super chat?
No, what was it?
We skipped. Can you please show Anery, Super Tiger, and Brian Cusco?
I showed the Anery Super Tiger. I don't know if I want to show the Brian Cusco.
Okay, you got another super chat though.
Uh-oh. Well, do we have a dance, Jess?
Yeah, do you want to use that one?
We probably should. We have a super
we
chat.
got one from Eli.
This is from Jess's kid Eli, you guys remember from last week's super chat fame, and I think that he has the answer to a question you are obviously all wondering about. That was a loose end that didn't get tied up on the last super chat. You'll have to check it out.
Whoops. Here, start over.
Go, Eli.
Super chat. Try not to let my cat get. Thank you guys for helping me name my snake. So I
He was
picked
on
the
last week's live with the snake, and they
and
love
his name
naming
is now
snakes.
Amadeus.
Oh yeah.
So if you want help naming snake,
Thank
let
you.
us know. Throw a bunch of names out. You can pick.
So
We
he
do a
did
couple
pick
of
one. He picked Amadeus.
Amadeus. Who
I
was
have to
it?
go back because I did a screenshot.
That was a
remember.
hard-earned win. If you
It
guys
was.
were
He
not
had a
here like towards the end of last week's live.
It's like a half an hour.
Yeah, we had about 150 different suggestions.
Eric Boger.
Eric Boger. Congratulations. Amadeus.
We finally have a name.
Very cool.
He was put on the spot, I think. He was like, I don't know.
There's too many choices. I gave me 150 choices for one snake.
So Jason, oh, we got another super chat.
Uh-oh.
Jason
Woohoo!
Swearinger super
Super
chat
chat.
was.
What's up, Jason? How's
How-
it going?
how
You're
am-
next, Blake.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Jason said, "How are my guys doing? Really sucks. I had to hand them over, but I will be back for Pures very soon. I have a good feeling."
Looks like Garrett just went to grab those.
Yeah, he was saying he wanted to get into some Pures. This is kind of cool. Oh, Jason, this is one of yours. Look at this gorgeous adult. So this is actually a similar bloodline to the one that you got, Blake. Partially related, but this is a albino Motley GC. The crazy head stamp there. Posset snow. So this is kind of the polar opposite to yours, I would guess. But this is an adult breeder size male from this bloodline. So pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, definitely, this is one of the things we always talk about, the lengths of snakes. People want to know. Like, I can
Yeah,
hold
how
this
big is that
sucker
snake?
in one hand. It's this big. So
But
really
in
not
feet.
too big. But I think if you were to, if you'll let us, stretch him all the way out, let's see.
I can't
mean, he's-
see you.
6+ feet. I'd say 6.5 if he probably straightened all the way out.
Yeah.
So, I mean, a lot of times people are like, hey, you know, I've only had ball pythons. I need a super dwarf that's only like 5 feet or whatever. I'm like, dude, a 5-foot super dwarf is way smaller than
Yeah.
those ball pythons. This guy's 6.5 feet, and he's the size of a smaller ball python. So you go up to like 8 to 9 feet. Now you're talking about super dwarf retics that are size of like a big breeder ball python. So if you want something a little bit more, like, what's your favorite size retic? You have dwarves, you have super dwarves. What's a good size for you?
I mean, I think as far as retics go, I mean something around 9 to 10 foot, I think is a nice size. It's still I mean it's a larger snake, but it's not, because super dwarfs are longer and skinnier. You know.
Yeah,
they're obviously.
so their length gets long before their
Yeah.
girth ever catches up.
A 9-10 foot super dwarf is super manageable, you know, and very, very easy to take care of and so forth. You know, you talk about a 9-10 foot Burmese, much thicker body, much heavier, just completely different animal.
Right.
So, yeah.
So 9 to 10 feet would be like, you got to stay pretty small on the super dwarf side if you want a female that's going to get that size. So that would be like your sun tiger girl.
Exactly.
She's in that range.
Yeah, she's just
That's a
over
pretty
10.
good sized snake. She's an adult breeder, you know. But basically any male from us is going to be
Oh yeah.
smaller than that.
Yeah.
You know, so.
We had another super chat.
Oh my goodness.
Are you
Blake,
gonna dance this
let's
one?
see it.
Oh, I don't dance. That's
Oh,
all I
come
do.
on.
That's all
Come
I do.
on.
Some
I
sort of
definitely don't
movement.
dance.
I gave you the video of my daughter.
What a cop out. All right, let's check. No, I got comments, but no super chat dances. All right, read us the super chat dance. Let's hear it.
This
I'm
is
dancing with you guys this time.
AM Fractals. Any chance I can see my new tiger girl? She's
Ta-da!
a cutie.
What are we looking at here, Jess?
It's a tiger.
Wind Serpent says, I also would not have danced. We'll loosen him up by the end of the live.
I like her little dot on her nose.
Everybody leave a like if you want Blake to dance.
No.
Yes, Brian Cusco.
Two things I don't do: dance or sing. So
Oh,
Sorry.
man. Now I have goals. Brian Cusco, yes.
There's a snake with my name on it over there.
Yeah. So
What is it?
Chris Sexton stopped by. A lot of you guys know Chris from Heli Guy Serpents. Let's see, with his daughter. and we had a really good time. And I had a problem picking out a snake for Mr. Brian Cusco. Now, Brian, apparently you know about it now because you're on this live. But up until now, Brian did not know that I had a snake for him, but I do. So I'm gonna send it, and I'm gonna say that if you guys are gonna want to watch it. Brian, what channel would you do that on? Brian Cusco? You guys are probably gonna have to go on his vlog channel. He can do a little Reach Out Reptiles unboxing and figure out what he got there, but it's kind of a secret. That was just a little bit of a teaser. Oh, Sean McFarland's coming through with Super Chat dances. This has got to be...
You got a Super Chat.
All right, just in time. Oh, Katie Horton. Woohoo! We're Super Chatting it up. All right, we got a Super Chat. Let's do it.
Brian said vlog channel for sure.
Okay, on Brian's vlog channel, you'll get it. Oh, Sean sent these earlier. Sean gets all the best ones.
Man, the shirt.
Look at that, old logo versus new logo. I love it with his Tom Belonging cross girl in there.
Yeah, that's all coordinated. That's cute.
I don't know what it is about the McFarland family, but they live for the Super Chat dances over there. Check that out. That's awesome.
That was Spencer Vance. Please show Garrett's favorite holdback of 2021. God bless ROR, and shout out to Blake. I will be in touch soon. To you, Blake.
Spencer's a good dude, but he never calls me. Like he
What's
tells
your
him to call
favorite
me.
one?
I don't know. Well, let's go. You want to walk through the rack? You might have to help me.
Yeah, let me
Sure.
Who's my favorite?
and see what the other.
So I don't think I actually answered the question as far as how I planned out that room either.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, honestly, I took the space and then I thought what would be nice for the animals to climb over, and what could they use. So I
Where
put a
did you
number
get
of.
inspiration from?
I don't know if I got inspiration from anywhere. I mean, just kind of thinking about it honestly myself. So I have one wall that has a whole bunch of kind of staggered shelves, and then I took a drill bit that would put holes about this size through the shelves, and that way the snakes can easily climb up and down the shelves, go through the holes. They love that. Normally, after they get tired from crawling all around the room, they'll pick one of those top shelves to hang out in, either there or one of the spots on the. I have a large cat tree with a bunch of different levels to it, so obviously they can climb around that as well.
Oh, like I'm gonna put a link to that
Jess, we
video.
need to show this one outside.
Yeah.
Come here.
There's a lot of ropes they can climb on and rope ladders. So
We actually can go outside now because
This
it's not dark at 4 o'clock.
All right. This actually was a really hard question to answer, but I have to go with this as my favorite holdback for this year. This is the Anery Pure Carrampa.
oh yeah,
James. Look at this guy. This guy is amazing. I don't know. I can't see. All I see is reflection on
Yeah, I
that.
can't see
Can you see the color on there?
Hopefully it looks good.
Woo, we got stuff. Yeah. Let's see if we can hold him up over here and see if we can get some of his color for you guys. I know it's a live stream, but this is a pure Carrampa, and we were really just trying to make more of these to kind of preserve this specific locality because they're ridiculously rare. And we accidentally hatched out an Anery, and I mean, we made a whole video about this. You guys can scroll through our videos and you can see. So this one holdback got his own whole video. But honestly, I mean, there are some animals, like my favorites are never, it's never about a particular morph, it's honestly like a lot of the stuff that we talked about with your thing when we were doing the branding, it's about like emotional responses, really.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like for us, it's so much about, this is why we do a live stream with you guys every week. There's a lot of, like, kids are playing outside, we could be hanging with them, a lot of other things that we could be doing. But for us, it's so important to connect with you guys. And I love the common, like, shared passion for the animals and how awesome they are. I'm gonna hold this guy for a while. We can sit down.
I'm gonna shut that door. The
Yeah.
noise.
But it's about the emotional response to the animal. So, like, when I see this animal, it's like, yes, it's a Carrampa locality, and that's obviously ridiculously cool, right? Captive bred. We're the first ones so far the only ones in the U.S. To captive breed this locality. It's an Anery, which is awesome. That's fun. I can use it for a lot of different things. But it really isn't about that. It's just, to me, this animal, like, I don't know if you guys know this or not. You might not know this. It took me 14 years to produce Karampas in captivity.
Wow. No, I didn't know
14 years of trying. When most people were just, you know what I mean, like probably didn't even know they existed. And so this has been a long-term goal of mine. I've been super involved. So many things, so many great people that I've worked with along the way to get the few animals together. Because there are literally 6 adults left in the U.S. And if you're watching the video, go, wait, Garrett, I thought you said there's 5. We garage found a hidden one of the original Karampas that was gone.
I love that though.
Yeah,
it's literally as a garage
we literally
find.
named him Duesenberg. It's like finding the last unrestored Duesenberg, you know, where it's all documented, it's all there. I remember that animal coming in and then finding him again.
Super chat.
Was incredible. Hold on.
Wave your hands, Blake.
Sean, it's okay. Sean's got us covered. Sean's got super chat for days.
This is on. I'm taking her for a super chat spin.
Wait, are we spinning snakes?
We're spinning snakes, apparently.
Okay. We can neither, we do not necessarily condone any of the opinions or actions of people on our super chat dances. Thank you, Sean. That's awesome.
That was Jason Swearinger again. Garrett,
What's up, Jason?
Garrett, do you still think my snakes are fat? LOL. Also, that male is a dwarf too, so 6 foot as a dwarf is not even super dwarf.
Yeah,
The
no,
one that you pulled out.
right. I mean, one of the things we talked about this in the discovery thing. It's very important for us to under promise and over deliver. So if you have something labeled as a dwarf coming from Reach Out Reptiles, we want to make sure that you're absolutely prepared for the biggest that animal could be.
Mm-hmm.
But if we can provide you with something that's even like genetically smaller than anybody else at the same price and stuff like that, you're just that much more ahead.
Yeah.
You know, so if I can tell you like a snake like that, it's like, and Jason, you can attest to this. I'm like, well, as an adult, you're probably going to need like a 6-foot cage or something like that. And then if he grows up to be 6 feet, that guy's got a kingdom.
Yeah.
And we can start changing the world for those snakes' lives. It's kind of like, you know what I mean? Really matters for that one animal, just making things better all the way
Justin
around.
Wilson said seeing your snake room gave him some ideas for making one for his.
Oh, that's awesome.
Like, I have another question from Duran.
What's up, Duran?
How long do you leave multiple snakes in the playroom together? Do you ever leave them unsupervised? And what are some things to be aware of when attempting this? Good questions.
So I always
Jason,
leave
to
them.
answer your question, they're looking good, buddy. Sorry, go ahead.
So I always leave them unsupervised. The only thing I make sure I never do is put 2 males in there together because, as you know, 2 males can be combative. But I will leave them in there for. I mean, if there's warm weather, I'll leave them in there sometimes for multiple days at a time. So I do have a camera in there, so it's nice. I can easily pull out my phone and look on it and see how they're all doing. But I mean, I will put sometimes 6, 7 females and 1 male in there to just all climb around, have fun, enjoy themselves. And they'll normally crawl around for a few hours and then find a spot to curl up in and kind of hide out and rest in. Sometimes it's interesting, especially with some of the smaller ones. They'll just move around all night long. So just nonstop, from different location. They'll be, going up the ropes. They'll be curled up in the rope ladder. They'll go on the shelves. They'll go in the cat tree. But I've never ever had any issues with them in there. Like I said, the only thing I make sure I never do is never put 2 males in there together.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, and your snake room is designed to leave them unattended.
exactly. Yeah.
It's not like, oh, I just let them out of my house and leave them unattended.
No.
Like that room is snake proof. You have all the temperature, humidity parameters you need, all that kind of stuff. So that stuff's all covered.
Yeah, exactly. I do also have heaters in there to keep the room
Super chat.
obviously
With
as
2
warm as it
super
needs to
chats behind now.
be.
You guys are awesome.
But yeah, I mean it's completely there's nothing they can get in there to like hurt themselves on or anything like that. So it is designed to just leave them in there for as long as they want to be in there.
All right, hold on. So from the Horton family, we got super chat number 1. Oh, I was confused. I was like, I hear Blake talking in the background of that video. Dude, you guys just recorded your kid while you're watching our live stream, didn't you? Super chat number 1. Yeah, here's us laughing with a couple more kids super chat. I was like, what kind of weird feedback is that? They're watching our live video, recording their kids, super chatting to
That's
super
not the
chat.
first time that we've had that.
That is so funny. Thank you, Horton.
And another
other
one.
thing- the
Now
other
you're
thing I'll
still
add-
2 behind.
The other thing I'll
We're
add
caught up.
also about the room is,
no, we just got
I
another one.
don't really worry
Oh,
about
that
them
one.
fighting
Yes.
with each other. Again, as long as there's not two males,
So start with
because they have so much room to go by themselves and be in their own area.
Manny. Wait for
So,
us to catch up.
You know, if you put two snakes together and they're in a small 6-foot cage, they can't really get away from each other. And so if one becomes aggressive with the other, then the only option they have is to fight. But if you have a big 12
Was
by
that
12
your
foot room,
super chat
then
dance?
they have tons of room to get away from each other and go to different locations if they want to be around each other.
That was for you, Duran.
Well, you skipped super chat. Okay.
No, we didn't. We
Well,
played
you're
them while you were
dancing.
gone.
You're just not, reading
All right,
the
give
super
us the
chats.
super chats. Give us the super
Okay,
chats.
Mayonnaise first. Hey guys.
Did you guys notice her
hope
being all
is
matchy
well.
matchy with Blake over here? Come on.
We're
Supposed to be
talking
representing the
you.
Reach Out Reptiles. Come on. Go ahead.
Guess you didn't get the memo. Manny, hey guys, hope all is well. Is it possible to see
Thank you,
my new
David.
girl? And has she shed yet? This is Manny's right? Lavender?
Yep, lavender. So this is dwarf, super dwarf cross. These ones are beautiful. This is a clutch 13 girl.
That's
Look
an
at
awesome
that.
looking animal.
Is that not right? Like, I mean, it's so cool to see them in person, right? You see them on the lives, it never does them justice. But look at the oranges on the side and that like kind of tiger stripe look. I love lavs.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people like purples, like traditionally like whites, purples, because those are kind of the two extremes of the Clark strain stuff. But for me, lavenders literally have everything I love.
I mean, I like the white albinos also. That's an awesome looking snake.
Yeah. Well, because they glow like a white albino, but then they still have just that touch of that weird lavender color that you almost never see on other species.
The next super chat was Tristan. May I have an update on my girl? This
Oh
is
my
Tristan's
goodness.
marble.
Marble. Yeah.
Do you know what marble this is, though, Tristan?
No, Blake.
No.
This is a Karamba marble.
So this is one of the rare ones. We took our super dwarf and dwarf cross.
I love
She's
the tails
50%
on
super
them.
dwarf, 25% dwarf, marble female, and
Tail is my favorite part.
well, the crazy thing about the tail is the Karamba pattern beats out the marble, but not entirely. So they have like very, very Karamba-esque stuff going on. So this
So
is.
pretty.
These are, as far as I know, these are the highest percentage super dwarves ever made, and the marbles. Obviously, there are pure super dwarves available straight from the wild. But yeah, look at that cool head stamp. But these are the highest percentage super dwarf marbles ever made. They're pus head annery, and if you get one of those, you get to be the only kid on the block that has a Karamba cross. You know, because they.
Got another super chat.
Rick O'Neill has made a couple cool. I'll shout Rick out. What's up, Rick? He did some beautiful 50-50 Kalatoa Karamba crosses back in the day, and he's bred them into stuff. So he's gotten a little bit of that, but these are the only ones that. What I mean when I say that is that they're 50% Karamba.
Duran's super chat was, hey guys, new Patreon perk, cross promotion, access to Blake's webcam. That would be cool.
Which one, you weirdo?
It's a family show.
Oh, sorry.
And then
Okay.
you got another super chat.
That would be cool. Yeah, read it first, Jess. Jess, I see what you're trying to
Read it
do.
first?
Read it first before I dance.
Come on. That's how we do things. You have to dance and then I
No
read it and say,
dance
"Oh,
required.
Super chat! You're cheating.
Thank you, David. David's the guy that had the other
Henry
Henry Motley GC that I pulled out earlier.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and we just said we were disagreeing on what looks like what our personal preferences were, and I like David's snake better than yours.
I just like the
Hashtag sorry, not sorry.
very clean, solid look, and yeah. So
Yeah, no, I mean it's great. So David's is like bright ashy gray, and then it has these paradox spots that sometimes the Motley Golden Childs get. But the crazy thing on an Annery Motley Golden Child is that instead of being like orange paradoxes, like if you guys follow us on Instagram, we just posted one like a really high paradoxed Motley Golden Child. You can see these big orange bands on it, but David's are white.
Yeah.
So I love that. I just think
it's unique. I mean, those paradoxing spots are definitely unique and different. Maybe it's the designer in me. I just like very clean, solid.
Yeah. I like a little bit more like sketchy look to everything. Did you find them? Yeah. All right. What do you guys think? So this is David's Anery Mott. Now these are actually only partially related. They're from two totally different bloodlines, actually. There's only a little bit of relation to it, but this one's David's. So David's has. We would have to get them outside. Oh, we can do it. Let's take them outside.
Come on.
These are worth it. Yeah. But the reason why is because Anery is a lot more than just a color. Like it's removing the animal's ability to refract red light. And so they get these crazy tones. So this is David's snake here. And this one has this one has much more like light and dark on the head stamp. Crazy black
some
eyes.
of the paradoxing over here.
Yep. Yeah, there it is.
And then you can see some of the pattern.
Yours
on the
is
back.
very like it's black, but it's tending towards that charcoal gray color.
Little dot too.
Yeah, he's got a bunch. Come on, let's see some paradox right there. See that little white stripe coming up? And we've had some of those even develop more over time. There's a couple spots down here. Here you go. Couple. And so, what's funny is these few scales sometimes help us determine like, okay, it's an Anery. And then this one is Blake's, which is just like oil slick black and darker head stamp. You know what I mean? It's like dark on dark. Yours does have those like metallic eyes though. You know what I mean? That is pretty cool. I'll give you that. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Both the same morph. Which one's cooler? You guys like David's over here or you like Blake's? It's pretty elite stuff. Like a lot of people like the Motley Golden Childs.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, it's definitely one of like the classic favorites because it is an extreme. It's kind of like having a solid white snake, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
Did you miss any super chats?
We may have.
Happens every time you take the camera. No super chats. Okay.
No super chats.
Laura Windserpent says, I want a Stewart design shirt.
I'll send you one, Laura. Send me your address. I'll send you one.
You should have brought an
She's
extra
here.
one.
Yeah.
She's gonna be here.
She was gonna
tomorrow.
be here
Oh,
tonight.
really?
She
Yeah,
just missed her.
Well,
She's on our Patreon and stuff like that. So yeah, very cool. All right, I'm waiting. I have a super chat dance from Spencer, so we gotta wait for the next one. All right, Jess, what's our next question? Oh, you're not here. Let's see what everyone says. So Jason likes the marble. That's old. Lavs are the best of both worlds. These are some older comments. Whites are my favorite. Clark Strain says Murray. Murray's over there in the UK, but he likes mochas and Indo caramels. Yes, see that's where I'm at. If you're gonna have Clark Strain, have white, and then if you really want the dark one, you can add like caramel to it. You have a double het caramel Anery.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a elite snake. So you can add caramel to white, and you'll get the lavender effect where it glows like crazy, but super dark, even darker than purple on an orange glow. Or Mochino if you like that ashy gray, which looks good on a lot of stuff. So let's see. Laura says, I like the dark on dark. Jason says, I like Blake's. What's the wrinkle on his neck?
There's a little wrinkle on his neck, isn't there?
Is there a wrinkle on his neck?
Yeah, right
It
there.
does have a little wrinkle. That's cute.
I don't know. We'll shed him out and see what happens. Maybe got like a little stuck shed on it or something. We pulled him. This is a baby snake.
Hasn't even eaten yet, right?
No.
Shit.
First, just had its first shed.
Mm-hmm.
So these are tiny, but very cool.
So that's all the questions in the post. So we can just
Oh my
take questions
goodness.
from the chat. You want to go in the room? What were you going to show them earlier?
Oh, I think we should name a snake. Don't you
Yeah.
think?
Mm-hmm.
I think we need to name some snakes. We have just enough time to pull that off.
Yeah.
Oh, Blake, come on the live stream? Seriously?
I turned it off.
I'm just kidding. Just playing with you.
Green
All right, let's go in the snake room. We'll go name the snake. Yeah. All right. Oh, Justin's gonna hold that one too. Oh,
I was gonna put it
I
away.
need green tape.
I got it.
Oh, you got it? All right, give me the tape. You take the snake. There she goes. There's Jess. Hey. All right, so if you guys don't know, we're talking about naming the snakes. I want to get like individual animal names for all of these, and I do have a system for naming snakes that I refuse to get rid of. But my favorite new system in the
But it's a stupid system, so
No,
this
it's
is how we're
great
doing it.
system. It just takes forever. So what we're doing is naming. A lot
Oh,
of
Justin Wilson says we can name my snake if you want.
Justin
That's different.
Wilson's. Justin Wilson's.
You should get.
My snakes need names.
Too
Justin.
bad. We're gonna name Justin's.
Oh, come on. All right.
If I can find him here, hold this.
It's the one that you pull. It was the Super Dwarf Motley, the 50%er down towards the bottom. Yeah. Justin, you're hijacking my live stream. What are we gonna name my snakes?
Here.
Okay. Here's a girl that was a holdback that we had over at somebody else's for a while, and she came back to us, and she was like not fed that much. So I gave Rob this, very technical note about, strict feeding requirements. And she is a Super Dwarf Platinum Motley Annery. She's really pretty. She's had a hard knock life for a little bit there, but it's getting better because she's here now. Hi, baby girl. Woo! Obviously, you see her popping up right there. She's like ready for food. So Rob has been following my instructions. All right, she's a little darker than she normally looks, but this is a platinum. I gotta turn this around the other way. You wanna grab that? This is a Platinum Annery Motley, female yearling Kalatoa. What do we name this girl? She's super gray. I mean, she's like, it's just a really beautiful kind of like a charcoal silver. Like I said, had a little bit of a hard start. She's kind of like my prodigal daughter returned. So what do we name this one?
Cinder Sterling.
Oh, those are good. Cinder, I like. That's kind of like Cinderella's story.
Yeah.
Right? Like the...
Dorian, Jasmine.
Isn't she a cutie? Look at these. I love platinum, the combo of the Platinum
Ashley.
Annery and the Motley.
Hazel.
Look at all that.
Sarah.
Look at those little freckles all over the head. Crazy silver eyes. Beautiful animal. She's got a little bit of that green tone, which I expect to come in a little bit
Confetti
later.
like it's 1999. Phoenix.
I love it. I love it.
Isabella. Hope. Lilac.
All right, I'll tell you what. I like the I don't know if they meant cinder like it's gray and all that stuff, but I was thinking Cinderella, you know what I mean? Like the abused stepchild or whatever that grows into be a princess.
With Cinder.
I'm down with that. So Cinder is beautiful. I'm going Cinder on that girl. All right, what do we got for
Who was that? Cody Palmer.
Cody.
Email us, Cody. We'll send you
Nicely
a
named.
picture back.
Cinder. Blake's filling his pockets over there in the
Yeah.
smoke racks. You guys see this guy?
All you got.
Look at this guy. Look at this. He's just like
He's shopping through the
I
racks.
haven't seen yet.
You can talk over there. I'm
I
looking at
just
stuff.
keep hearing tubs pulling out.
Yep.
So
That's
this
funny.
is Justin Wilson.
All right, so you guys remember Justin's. Justin has had a hard time getting a Super Dwarf from us. He's had to come in and do a couple of different things to get into this animal, but I think you got the right animal in the end, so I'm pretty stoked on that. It's a 50% Kalatoa Motley, and this guy's mom. I'll tell you what. Let's come out here because I want to show you a picture of the mom. I like to have stuff like this. I know we have a couple of things. Ooh, I can't show that. That would be like one of those weird effects going back and forth. I love to, we're trying to get a bunch of stuff up on the website with pictures of parents for everyone so they know what to expect. But check out this boy's mom. So, females generally get a little bit bigger. The male should be smaller than this. But this is his mom on eggs. Isn't that so cool? Did you check that out? Look at that. I think Manny was saying he never got his picture.
I'm typing to him right now.
Oh. Jess is on it. Multitasking. So this is this guy's mom. Isn't that cute? Look at that huge egg and that tiny little female with that glass Coke bottle in there. It's crazy. So, all right. So for Justin's snake, I don't know. Have they been commenting? Justin, did you pick one yet? I can't really read the comments as we go. You have any suggestions for the name for this guy?
Oh, I'm terrible at that.
Yeah?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Did you name any of your snakes?
I haven't. No, that's why I say I'm terrible at it.
Oh my goodness. You got 2 little kids, man. Give them a marker. They'll name them all in like 2 minutes.
My daughter picked out a snake and she calls it Snaky.
That's exactly what Eli named
Alright,
his
so
snake.
kind of genetic.
Yes.
Ben Horton says Mighty Mouse. Alyssa says Donut.
Mighty Mouse Donut is a good one. Yeah, I like the circles on there.
Laura says she names everything.
Here, check it out. Yeah, you should. They need a name.
Fun.
Yeah, well, it's not only fun, but I really think it helps you like connect personally, like on a personal level with the animal. You know what I mean? Like they're not just a commodity necessarily, but if they have a name, like you name all your
Rocky.
dogs, right? You know what I'm saying? Like
Coca.
so, that's kind of why we changed our
Crispy.
system to get them all named faster. Because some of our animals are in there for years, no names. We had more of like the Native American style of naming, like earn your name. So, there you
No
go.
other suggestions?
All right, let's see it. He likes Coca. That's pretty cool. Was that Justin Wilson asking?
Yeah.
It's your snake.
Cocoa Puff. I know, but he
Puff?
he
Like
said I'm
Coca-Cola?
bad at naming. He
Oh,
just wants
okay.
some suggestions.
All right. Okay. Very cool.
Cody likes Rocky.
Rocky. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll leave it at this, just because. Thank you for coming on and sharing. I'm sure that you guys appreciate it. Justin, you can pick. Let us know in the comments section which one you did ultimately go with from those suggestions. And guys, feel free to keep leaving suggestions as we go here for Justin's little snake. But yeah,
Indo,
thanks
I
for
like that
coming
one.
on.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
is there anywhere, like, if people do want, like you offered, like, guys, this is a pretty gracious, I have one of your books sitting around here somewhere, but a pretty gracious offer to get one of
Isn't
the
that
free
it?
books so that you guys can
That
get
black
your
one? Or no.
no so that you guys can get your logo kind of sorted and do it from at whatever level. But how do they get a hold of you for, like, to get a book?
Sure.
Or any other questions that you guys might have for Blake or something like that if you want to set something up?
I mean, the easiest way is to contact me either by email or through the website. Again, my email is blake@sdidentity.com. And the website obviously is sdidentity.com. So on the website, you can read about what it is we do, how we help our clients, and our process. And then, yeah, if any of you would like a free book, just shoot me an email, send me your address. I'll be happy to send you one. And shoot me your t-shirt size, I'll send you a t-shirt too. So
as far as, like, just from my perspective on it, like, kind of when is a good time, I mean, it's always a great time if you can start like Zach did from the ground up with a strong brand. That's great. But I'll tell you what, from like a pricing perspective, you don't work too much with people in the reptile industry, although you love it. You've done quite a few, but I mean, a lot of the industry guys that you guys are doing are much larger corporations and stuff like that. So from a pricing standpoint, what I would suggest is that, you know, because, I mean, definitely do it if you can spring for it because of the value it brings to your brand. I think you guys saw some of the messaging and stuff, and it really helps us and all our staff understand it too. But if you can, as a hobbyist, get a couple of decent, profitable clutches, whether you're a ball python guy, you know what I mean, Superdorf retics or whatever, you get a couple of profitable clutches, I would think going to Blake with some of the profit of those first breedings would be an excellent choice. You know what I mean? And for those of you guys that can take money from, you know, like your 9-to-5 jobs and invest it into that, obviously it'll go a long way. But I think, I mean, I always talk about like monopoly money. You know what I mean? If you plan
Sure.
well, you get a couple of good breedings, like your Motley Annery Golden Child to either a snow male or a Kalatoa male, whatever you do, sell a couple of those babies. That should be your first reinvestment, is go into somebody. And the cool thing is you do all this stuff, but you are into animals too.
I am, yeah.
So you have a unique understanding. I don't think you're going to find that with anybody else.
Yeah, I mean, most of the work we do is more corporate identity kind of stuff. But obviously, I have a passion for this industry. You know, into the reptiles myself. You know, own a number of them. Obviously myself. So it's more enjoyable for me to work on these kind of projects with people. You know, because again, I'm more passionate about it than I am, you know, putting together something for a law firm or a dentist office or a chiropractor.
And
or
you
something.
understand the unique perspective of a snake owner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And kind of like the politics that go with that and everything. So you're able to navigate that stuff really well.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, when it boils down to it, it's an investment. You know, if this is something that you consider a business that you want to make a profit from, you have the option obviously of, buying additional animals for breedings you want to and pairings you want to do and so forth. But you should also consider investing in your brand and your identity and how you're going to communicate your value to people that are going to pay you for those animals.
Absolutely.
So-
Absolutely. So guys, Blake was literally just here picking up a snake and delivering some of this content for us, and we threw him into the live stream. So, obviously we planned ahead.
We kind of pre-planned it.
You knew it, but thank you very much for
Yeah,
coming on and
absolutely.
all that kind of stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed some of that. And really it is a glimpse into the behind the scenes of how we do what we do, and what is it we're trying to do it as best as we possibly can. You know what I mean?
And if you guys would like to hear any more, from me, then sign up for the Patreon, because we'll be doing a special Patreon only video.
Class.
We're
dive-
gonna do a series for our patrons and stuff, and we haven't outlined exactly how we're gonna do that. But if you guys go to patreon.com and you can sign up, you can get all the notifications on the stuff that we do there. But we actually have, like here at Reach Out Reptiles, a big support team. So there's a lot of things you'll never hear people talk about. I don't think a lot of people talk about branding
No.
on as a part of the business, but it's huge, and and everybody that is successful has great branding in the industry.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's a really big thing. We're gonna try to get like our CPA on there. We're gonna try to get a website designer on there, and some of the stuff that we do that can tie a lot of this stuff together to be able to help you guys have some resources. If you're at the spot of like beyond, I just keep a snake, I have one or two, but I really want to like have a profitable hobby, and hopefully something that allows you to reinvest into the industry and reinvest into your animals. You know what I mean? Because that would be the biggest thing. If we could all have an addition on our house for our snakes, paid for by the snakes. I mean, certainly, if you're working with something like Super Dwarves that are profitable, they're great.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? They do a really good job. We can afford to do that kind of stuff. We're getting a whole new building up here, so.
Yeah.
I don't think I've announced that on the
We're
live stream.
getting what?
We'll catch you guys next time.